Good morning, happy Friday to you. Got me some nice iced coffee, a little cold brew. Hitting the road, we're heading down to Nashville, Tennessee, 275 miles from here to Nashville. We're heading down for the Rock and Roll Marathon. I'm going to be doing the half marathon tomorrow. Pretty excited. This was supposed to be actually the Chicago half marathon in May of 2020. Delayed till October of 2020, then moved to Nashville in April of 2021, and now we're finally actually getting to do this race. So hopefully safety protocols are in good shape, and this goes off without any issues. So super excited to head down there and race. Just grabbing some fuel now. Got my coffee. Gonna swing over by Jack's Donuts in Carmel. Get me a nice sweet treat for the road, as we got about a 5-hour drive, but excited to get down there and race. We're starting at Nissan Stadium, home of the Titans. Never been there, so that'll be a fun experience. And we get to run down through all the bars, the honky tonks, and everything down on Broadway. So first time going to Nashville, it's gonna be a fun trip. So we'll see you down there. Let's go in here and get our packet picked up. We'll have a good day. We're gonna head downtown after that. Hi there, 1390.
1390.
It should be Corey Johnson. There we go, starting Corral 3. Got a beer ticket here. Everybody likes a beer ticket. That's perfect. Alright, so we are actually going to go apparently upstairs and get our shirts. So we're getting to tour Nissan Stadium, which is actually really fun. They don't let us out on the field, but it's still a pretty cool experience. Alright, so we got our packet picked up. Bib. Gotta go to the expo where they try to sell us a bunch of merch. But let's go up here. We'll check out the stadium one more time. I asked around if anybody has any Jack's Donuts around here. They don't know what I'm talking about, so should have brought a couple extras to share with them, teach them what it's about. But yeah, so you see here, we are in the end zone, and there you have it. Pretty cool place. Grass looks nice. Yeah, so the finish of the race will be here tomorrow. We're gonna start down on Broadway next to all the bars and honky tonks, but we end here, so point to point race. Should be pretty fun. So down here, it was 29 degrees when we left Indiana. It's 44 down here, and as you can see, they're selling some frozen lemonade. So if you're feeling a little warm in your stocking cap, you can go get some frozen lemonade. Good evening. It is the night before race day. I'm excited. Spent some time downtown Nashville. Got checked into my hotel room just north of town, and gonna grab some dinner. One of the rules that I was told by some good friends on a race trip is you never eat at a restaurant that you have back home. You always try a new place. So we're gonna try this out. Behind me, it's called Pitchfork Pizza Parlor. The lady at the hotel says it's the best pizza in town. So we're gonna go try that out. Get some barbecue chicken pizza. Get to bed early. We got an early morning. We're gonna leave the hotel around 5 a.m. Get down to downtown probably 5:30, 5:45, and then we got about a 1.5 mile walk over to the start of the race on the other side of the river. So let's get some pizza
get some good food, get some carbs, get to bed early. Good morning. This is wild. I'm literally walking down the middle of Broadway, Nashville. The roads are closed. You can see behind me. This will be the race course. They've already obviously got it closed. Seriously, this is like almost a mini Vegas feel. Very cool for not ever being here. This is a neat place. All right, so we are about a half hour away from the race starting. Big shout out to the First Baptist Church on Broadway. We are at 6th and Broadway, about 2 blocks from the start. They have a massive church. You can kind of see it. It's this huge building. They have the entire thing open for anybody. Warm restrooms, water, just a good place to kind of chill out and relax before the race. Completely volunteer their time to be out here, so thanks to them.
Alright, so we are done for the half marathon today. Race went actually really well. Ended up finishing at a 1:57:53. Goal was under 2 hours, so was very, very happy with that. Nashville has some serious hills, so that was definitely something that I wasn't quite ready for, and the entire course was hilly, so very challenging course, but very fun to run. There was a good turnout, so it was fun. A lot of people, good crowd support, good aid stations, so all that was really well. So all in all, very good day today out on today's race. So other than that, a couple things I was going to touch base on, just kind of some pros and cons and some goods and bads. This is, I don't even know how many half marathons and have done some big marathons, and this is my second race with the Rock and Roll series. I did their full marathon in Arizona back, I think in 2013, if I remember correctly. At the time, Rock and Roll was its own company, and things were very, very good. I actually had a really good experience. Rock and Roll Marathon Series was acquired by the Ironman company, the triathlon company, a few years ago. So definitely some things I noticed that were different on this. Obviously there was some good. I thought the way they used Nissan Stadium with packet pickup and the finish and all that stuff was really fun. And it was a really cool experience to get to go see that. The course today, obviously, they can't control the hill, so I'm not going to hold that against them, but it did measure at 13.36, which is a quarter mile long. And we were, most everybody around me, we were asking each other 1 mile in, because I was already at 0.2 long in the first mile. So all my years of doing this, I really, really focus hard on running tangents, so I don't think it was just me, but it is what it is. So shirts, obviously, got a new shirt. They're nice, so I thought that was fine. But a couple things that really honestly kind of concern me and probably would keep me from signing up for another race put on by Rock and Roll. As I mentioned earlier, this was supposed to be in Chicago in 2020. I can't hold COVID against them, so I won't. But at the end of 2020, they told us that Chicago was no longer an option and gave us about 6 cities to choose from. Obviously, I chose Nashville. The reality is a refund was not possible. And I know when we sign up for these races that refunds are always told they're not eligible for a refund. Typically we think of that with weather and stuff like that. But that was just really surprised a company this big forced you to go to another city and held your money hostage a little bit. Again, I know it's in the fine print, so I can't hold that too much against them. But all my other races had refunded the money, so I was just a little bit taken back by that on a company that was this big. When you're paying well over $100 for a half marathon, you just expect a little bit more. So a couple other things that really frustrated me too. This morning, so our race started at 7:20 in the morning. Bag check before the race closed at 6 a.m., so an hour and 20 minutes before the race. but it was 30 degrees out. So you had to stand there without your warm clothes for almost an hour and 20 minutes, which was, I don't know, pretty frustrating. So the other couple things, the medals. Not that we do this all for medals, but for a race this expensive and this big of a race, I was pretty disappointed. The medals kind of resembled something I'd expect maybe like a charity 5K that was about a $30 race. So just pretty chintzy on the medals. But I think the biggest concern that I had with Rock and Roll, and this goes back to their company, many emails to the company got unanswered. You can go on their social media. They had no social media presence until really about 4 or 5 days before the race. Many people asking questions or having concerns, and none of them were addressed. I personally tried to email them, no response. I actually found the race director email the race director and just could not get a response. I was really just trying to validate that with me coming from Chicago to the Nashville race that I was actually signed up before I drove all the way down here and paid for a hotel and went through that hassle of taking time off work. So that part was really frustrating, and it wasn't just my situation. You can go back on their social media and pretty much everybody struggled with that. So there's just too many races around that are good races. I think Chicago Marathon is a phenomenal race. I've done the Carmel Marathon in Carmel, Indiana, and probably would rank that as one of my best races, funnest races. The staff, the way they put the event on, the communication is so good. So was really taken back. Really, like I said, I don't know if I would sign up for another Rock and Roll race or even recommend them to another person running. So it's just unfortunate. They used to have a really good show. I know, like I said, I did their marathon several years ago, and things are really good. So, and I get COVID and staffing and all that kind of stuff. But when you're paying well over $100 for a half marathon in Nashville and coming this far and everything, you just expect a little bit more. So, but at the end of the day, had a really good run today. The course was fun. It was very challenging. And so had a really good time. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Gave you a little bit of a glimpse of what a race kind of weekend looks like for me. And we'll see you around at the next one. Take care.